I'm assuming you did not miss the big news about the first impeachment case filed over at the lower house. We're talking about 5 of the 6 grounds being present. We're talking 24 articles of impeachment presented in the complaint from the more recent events, some reaching back into the past. What do you make of all of this? Will it hold water? Is there enough in the complaint to hold water?
Well, we assess it based on 2 criteria, matter of form and matter of substance. No? As to form, it suffers from a bad timing. Mukhang mali po ang timing nung pag-file eh. You have to understand that there is a prescribed period for Congress to act on impeachment complaints. And if they fail to act on it or they are not able to vote on it or endorse it, it is deemed denied or shelved. In which case, the one year ban will apply. So for 1 year, you cannot file any impeachment complaint against Vice President Sara Duterte. So that's on as to form. No. Also as to form, the more articles or grounds you raise, the the lower the chances that you get one to pass, no, because it will take so much time to deal with all of these grounds. It's better to choose 1, 2, or 3 grounds, focus on those strong grounds, so as to focus the effort. No, you need votes. You need to convince at least 1/3 of the House to endorse the complaint.
Right. Attorney
And
Buko,
as to substance,
go ahead.
hindi paramihan ng grounds eh. Kailangan it has to amount to a breach of the Constitution. Kinakailangan high crime, not an ordinary crime, not a simple crime. It must rise to the level of high crimes. So hindi paramihan.
Oh, yun nga, Attorney Buko, kasi nung binabasa ko, of course, as a layperson, I'm not a lawyer nor a lawmaker, parang they just put everything that they didn't like so far from her performance. Even nung Davao City Mayor pa siya, even things na parang are more associated, kumbaga, with her father, the former president, like yung EJK, that she's involved in it. Now, ang tanong, we all know that by now, that impeachment is a very political exercise and it's not actually like a court case. But in the absence of actual court cases filed, how does this all jive? And paano ba dapat natin to, like, if we want to really exact accountability, is this really the best way?
Yeah, well, for an impeachable officer, the president, the vice president, and the constitutional commission officers, the only way to hold them accountable is by impeachment. But you need to study it carefully because, as I said earlier, if you file a weak one or a defective complaint, instead of holding her accountable, you're giving her immunity for 1 year. No, if you file the wrong complaint, a haphazard complaint, a defective complaint, you're correct in your observation. No, may mga isinama doon na pangyayaring hindi pa siya vice president. So obviously hindi yun pwedeng isama sa impeachment complaint dahil ang impeachment complaint dapat nakatutok lamang sa mga ginawa niya na paglabag sa konstitusyon nung siya ay pangalawang pangulo na ng Pilipinas. So that might work in favor of Sara Duterte if this complaint is found defective and will therefore insulate her, give her immunity for 1 year.
Attorney, you mentioned earlier na merong certain period for the Congress to act on the impeachment complaint filed against Vice President Sara Duterte. Gaano kahaba yung period for the Congress to act on it? Do they have enough time for the impeachment complaint, considering na hello, kailangan nilang i-prioritize yung budget natin for 2025 and campaign na by next year.
Sila na nga nagsabi nun, di ba?
Oo.
Magkaka-campaign na. So, baka daw hindi matuloy, tsaka 9 session days na lang ang natitira.
Correct. No, under the rules ng House, meron silang 10 araw mula sa pagkaka-file nitong complaint, no, para maisama ito sa agenda. And then mula sa pagkakasama sa agenda, may 3 araw sila para ito ay maitukoy sa committee, no, ma-refer sa committee para aralin. Now, that is very difficult kasi by December 20, mag-a-adjourn na sila for the Christmas break. No? So, medyo gipit na sa oras para gawin yan. And assuming na ma-refer yan sa committee, assuming by some miracle maisingit sa agenda yan, mai-refer sa committee bago mag-break ng December 20, ang balik nila January 13 na eh. And under the rules, may 60 days lamang sila para mag-conduct ng hearings. Pag bumalik sila ng January 13, magbe-break uli sila ng February 11 para sa campaign period. So wala nang 60 days doon, hindi nakakayanin eh. Pagdating ng campaign period kasi wala ka ng senador, pagdating ng March wala ka ng mga congressman. So I think hindi lulusot because of bad timing, no? Sa ilalim ng rules, dapat within 60 days magkaroon ng resolution. Either makakuha dapat yan ng botong 1/3. That's around 100 congressman. Dapat bumoto to endorse it to the Senate. Pag walang nakuhang 100 votes yan, it's deemed dismissed, not acted upon. 1 year, hindi ka na pwede mag-file ulit ng impeachment against VP Sara.
So last week, attorney, President Bongbong Marcos himself said that he is not in favor of impeachment complaint against VP Sara. Kaya nga siya yung nakipag-usap dun sa ibang legislators na wag nang mag-file. Pero hindi, well, obviously, some legislators did not listen to it. Ano yung implication nito? Paano namin to dapat basahin?
I think the president also realizes that any complaint filed now is problematic due to time constraints. So there are other urgent matters that should be trashed out and should be prioritized by Congress. The budget, of course, another priority legislative agenda, mas magandang doon ubusin yung oras dahil hindi na nga rin makakayang tapusin yung impeachment. So kahit simulan, uubos ka ng oras ng Kongreso, wala ka ring makukuhang resulta dahil hindi mo rin kayang tapusin within the limited period of time before the campaign. Kaya tama yung panawagan. It's not a directive from the president, it's a plea na pakiusap na huwag nyo nang unahin yan dahil mas maraming ibang importanteng bagay. I think even if the grounds were substantial, I'm not saying they are substantial, but even if they were substantial, it suffers from wrong timing.
Do you get the sense though, attorney, na minadali ito? Kasi nakakagulo. I mean, we've been talking about impeachment for months, di ba? But I think one of the reasons nga, no, and even the lawmakers from the House have said this, hindi nga matutuloy dahil nga ang awkward nung timing. Magpapasko, mag-e-election. Sila na nga mismo yung nag-amin nun. So, do you get the sense na minadali ito? Because supposedly, this is only the first and meron pa tayong inaabangan na possibly mag-file din yung mismo makabayan block sa House ng sarili nilang impeachment complaint this week.
Yes, mukhang ifinay lang para may ma-file, para makakuha ng media mileage siguro, no? Dahil I'm sure they are also aware na hindi ito kakayanin given the limited time. The fact that they added complaints, no? May mga isinamang offenses na hindi naman covered nung siya ay vice president na obviously it's haphazard, no? Minadali. Ano ang purpose? Ang purpose lang ito, malagay sa balita, makakuha ng media mileage, libreng airtime. Pero other than that, hindi kasi lulusot eh. Sayang. Sayang yung pagkakataon dahil isang taon na hindi mo na siya uli mapafilan eh. Magkakaroon siya ng immunity from the impeachment process for 1 year.
Pero attorney, you mentioned that earlier, yung timeline, the 60 days and the 10 days prior to that. Pero is it really that impossible to make it past the remaining sessions? Kasi yun naman pong binigay nyo, yung maximum lang po. It is actually possible na mas mapabilis po siya. Tama po ba?
Tama naman. There was one instance na pagka-file ng complaint, pumirma agad yung 73 or 75 congressmen na endorse agad sa Senate. Yun yung impeachment ni former President Joseph Estrada. So kung makakakumbinsi ng mag-i-endorsong 1/3 ng House, so sa ngayon mga 100 na ang kailangan kasi 300 plus ang miyembro ngayon ng House. Para ito ma-endorse sa Senado, kailangan mo ng 1/3. If you can convince 1/3 of Congress, kahit isang araw lang yan, basta merong pumirmang close to 1/3 or 1/3 of the House, diretso na yan sa Senate.
And walang choice yung Senate, di ba? Kailangan nilang tanggapin at kailangan nilang mag-convene as a tribunal.
Correct. Kahit panahon ng kampanya, kailangan nilang huminto sa kampanya at mag-conduct ng trial dahil meron din silang rules, meron ding prescribed period na kailangan nila itong simulan at sila ay magiging parang mga hukom, judges.
Okay.
But again, the threshold is kung makakakuha ka, if they will be able to get endorsement, signature, 1/3 from the members of the House.
Okay, Attorney Buko, nabanggit mo kanina, no, it's possible then na hindi nila tanggapin or parang ma-junk itong impeachment complaint. How does that work?
Well, ministerial yung pagtanggap, no? Kailangan nilang tanggapin, defective man yan o hindi. Pagka-refer sa committee, so within 10 days, ika-calendar sa agenda. Pag na-calendar sa agenda, you have 3 days to refer to the committee. Now, the committee will determine kung ito ay sufficient in form. Doon pa lang, pwede na magbutuhan base sa form. At pag hindi lumusot, the committee itself can reject this. No? Pag na-reject yan, tapos na. Wala nang pag-uusapang impeachment. Pero as I said, mag-a-apply na yung 1-year ban. Dahil once the complaint is referred to the committee, ibig sabihin na initiate na ang impeachment process, the 1-year ban applies kapag na-dismiss yun or na-reject.
But
The
like,
committee can also vote, kahit sabihin ng committee this is sufficient in form, pagbobotohan din nila kung sufficient in substance. So 2 beses boboto ang committee. Usually ginagawa yan after mag-hearings. Ang problema nga natin, baka wala ng sapat na oras para mag-conduct ng hearings.
Pero pwede ba rin itong ma-railroad? Because given na we've seen 2 straight Congresses with a supermajority, we've seen how fast they can move because they are united there. Is it possible, no, to kind of, kumbaga, madaliin to or baka may loophole silang nakikita na hindi natin nakikita that they can take it through that? Are you seeing anything, Attorney?
I don't want to raise false hopes. Mukha hong hindi makakakuha ng ganung boto. Mukha hong hindi kayang i-railroad for several reasons. No? Number 1, as I said, the timing. Number 2, the mixed signals coming from Malacanang. No? And number 3, the leadership of the House. Walang ganung direksyon, no? Na may instruction, may directive na i-railroad ito o madaliin. For the complainants to get 1/3 of the House immediately within a short period of time, you need the House leadership. You need Malacanang, no? To direct the members of the House to convince those in the majority in the coalition to act as one. Pero sa ngayon kasi iba-iba ang tinig. Ibig sabihin walang iisang himig, walang iisang utos, walang iisang boses. So I don't think this can be railroaded. It will follow the natural course of the time and rules and procedures, and it will die a natural death.
Attorney, aside from the impeachment complaint filed earlier today, of course, baka meron pa tayong aasahan na iba pang impeachment case that will be filed against VP Sara. What will happen kapag ka nagkasunod-sunod yung impeachment cases? Automatic ba yun? Will it be consolidated or will this make things more complicated?
It will make things more complicated, pero as I said, ministerial ang pagtanggap ng House ng impeachment complaint. So pag may nag-file ulit, tatanggapin lang yan ng House. At tulad nung sinabi ko kanina, dadaan din sa proseso, no? Pagbobotohan kung sufficient in form, sufficient in substance. Kung sakasakaling parehong sufficient in form, parehong sufficient in substance, pwedeng pagsama-samahin into 1 articles of impeachment. Meaning, isa lamang yung complaint na ipapadala sa Senado manggagaling sa Kongreso. Kahit na 3, 4, 5 yung complaint, isa lamang yung set, yung articles na ipapadala sa Senado. So, mako-consolidate din siya kung lulusot sa committee.
Okay. For example, no, dagdagan natin yung example ni Maricel kasi curious din ako. Kunwari lumabas nga yung second impeachment complaint, let's say later this week, who decides, after nung botohan na sinasabi ninyo ng committee, form, and then substance, who decides paano siya i-consolidate, which particular articles, which particular grounds? Yung committee ba on justice?
No, the whole Congress in plenary will decide which articles will be endorsed. In previous impeachment cases, the House leadership forms a prosecution panel, no? The prosecution panel, ito yung mag-act as the prosecutors, mga taga-usig ng impeachable officer. Sila yung pipili, sila yung gagawa niyan, sila yung maglalagay ng exact language kasi the language of the complaint is important. So kahit na 3, 4, 5 yung complaint, pagsasama-samahin yan into 1 set, isang complaint lang with articles of impeachment, pipili sila ng pinakamatitibay lang, at yun ang ihahain nila sa buong plenary No, pag lumusot sa committee, hindi pa tapos. Kailangan mo pa rin makuha ang boto ng plenaryo. The whole Congress will have to vote on it. And if you get 1/3 of Congress, then yun ang ipapadala sa Senado. Not the various complaints, but only one set of complaints.
Attorney, pag umabot ito, let's say umabot siya sa Senado, sino po ang magpe-preside over the impeachment trial?
The Chief Justice of the Philippines will act as presiding justice, and the members of the Senate will be converted into senator judges. No? So sila ay magiging mga hukom at ang magiging presiding officer ay ang Chief Justice. So technically, hindi sila Senado. Sila ay magiging impeachment court. So hiwalay yung trabaho nila bilang senador. After ng impeachment hearings, pwede silang magsesyon sa hapon. Tuloy pa rin yung pagiging senado nila. Pero habang sila ay gumaganap sa kanilang katungkulan bilang senator judges, nagbabagong anyo sila. No? They become the impeachment court.
Okay, so attorney, in an event na lumusot sa komite itong impeachment case ni VP Sara, umabot sa impeachment court, ano yung legal options ng presidente?
Well, the president has no
Or ng vice
participation.
president,
no?
rather. Sorry.
The vice president also cannot resign. She has no other option but to attend. No, prohibited siya from resigning from office. Kahit mag-resign, tutuloy kasi to. No? Ang consequence niyan, she will be like an accused. No? Sa mga previous cases nakita natin, ipapatawag siya, no? Pagpapaliwanagin, bibigyan ng pagkakataong magpaliwanag. After, of course, ng prosecution na ma-prove nila yung kanilang case. Ang susunod naman magpe-present ng ebidensya ay yung impeachable officer, in this case the vice president. And then the Senate will vote, no, either to convict or to acquit.
Attorney, let me rewind lang a bit, no? Of course, we're talking about yun and so many what-ifs, right? But yung actual na nangyayari ngayon, no? Siyempre, ang pinagdedebatehan natin, confidential funds, the alleged misuse. We've heard different arguments from both sides, right? On one hand, the VP says, di pa nga tapos, let the COA finish their audit because meron pang legal process yan of file ng ganito and then pwede ka pa mag-submit ng extra hanggang ma-resolve. At the same time, sinasabi ng Congress, there's no prescribed time for us to do a hearing in aid of legislation. Ngayon, I'm really wondering, okay, ano ba dapat mauna? Dapat ba muna magkaroon muna ng resolusyon yung kaso? If we're gonna impeach somebody, let's say ito yung may mabigat na basehan, no, for impeachment, which is the misuse of confidential funds, which is graft and corruption, malversation, etc., and betrayal of public trust, hindi ba dapat may kaso muna siya or at least masabi muna ng COA with finality na, okay, talagang na-misuse yung funds, hindi ma-liquidate?
Okay. Distinguish natin, no? Kung ordinaryong opisyal ng gobyerno, any other elected official except the president and the vice president, tama yung sequence na yon, no? Kasuhan mo muna sila. Pag nakasuhan mo sila, then tsaka nyo po pwedeng sabihin na meron nga silang ginawang illegal, no? Dahil pwede mo silang kasuhan. The problem with the president and the vice president, you cannot sue them. You cannot charge them, no? You need to impeach them first. So baligtad. So hindi tama yung argumento na bakit nyo ako iniimbestigahan o ba't kayo nag-iimbestiga, hindi pa tapos ang COA, dahil isa lamang ang pwedeng mag-imbestiga sa President at Vice President and other impeachable officers, and that is Congress. No, because Congress has the power to impeach, and therefore sila lang ang pwedeng mag-investigate. Hindi kailangan ng Kongreso na hintayin ang resulta ng investigasyon o findings ng COA bago ito mag-imbestiga kung paano ginastos ang pondo ng bayan. Pwede nila itong gawin at any time in aid of legislation. At yung paggawa ng budget is part of legislation. So yung pagtatanong, pag-iimbestiga kung saan napunta ang pondo para maplano mo yung ilalagay mong pondo for next year ay bahagi ng trabaho ng Kongreso at Senado at pwedeng gawin anytime.
Attorney, let me just go back to what you said na hindi po pwedeng kasuhan ang Vice Presidente. Isn't the Vice President, di ba po, she is not, does not have immunity from suit?
Tama po, wala siyang immunity from suit, pero siya ay impeachable officer. So yun po ang kaibahan, no? Dahil siya ay impeachable officer, hindi mo siya po pwedeng tanggalin sa pwesto, paharapin sa anumang kasong administratibo, o kriminal nang hindi mo muna siya natatanggal sa kanyang pagiging vice presidente. And you can only do that by impeachment.
So, okay, medyo bago to sa amin kasi they always bandy about di ba? Naririnig natin, the Vice President is not immune from suit. The Vice President is not immune from suit. So, ang dapat magawin is impeach siya muna bago siya kasuhan sa normal na korte, like everybody else.
Yes, marami nang naunang halimbawa niyan. Ano? Merong isang kasong ipinail against a tanod bayan, prosecutor. No? May ipinail na kaso laban sa justice ng Supreme Court. Kung maalala nyo, in fact, lahat sila kinasuhan for corruption. No? Umabot sa Korte Suprema ang kaso at sinabi ng Korte Suprema, hindi nyo sila po pwedeng kasuhan, ni hindi nyo sila po pwedeng ipa-disbar, which is a entirely different proceeding, habang sila ay nakaupo bilang impeachable officer. Dahil mawawala sila sa pwesto pag sila ay nakasuhan. Ang sabi sa saligang batas, ang pwede lang mag-alis sa kanila sa pwesto ay impeachment.
Pahabol lang, attorney. You mentioned earlier na, of course, kapag impeachment complaint, obligado si VP Sara na mag-attend doon sa hearing. Pero as nakikita natin sa mga previous congressional hearings, she was not very cooperative. So what will happen if she still refuses to attend impeachment cases or impeachment proceedings, just in case na lumusot sa komite?
Under the rules of the Senate, tutuloy-tuloy nila yun eh. The accused, the respondent in this case, can waive. No? Kung ayaw niyang mapakinggan ang kanyang panig, pwede namang hindi siya magsalita. Karapatan niya yon, no? Na hindi magsalita. Pero hindi mapapakinggan ang kanyang paliwanag at hahatulan siya ng Senado base lamang sa ebidensyang hawak nito. No? So, yun ang risk. Pwede siyang makasuhan, ma-charge at ma-convict based lamang sa ebidensya ng prosecution kung hindi siya sasagot at magpapaliwanag. Sa Amerika, may halimbawa tayo na si President Nixon hindi na hinintay yung impeachment. Nung ito ay lumusot mula sa House, nung dadali na sa Senate, inunahan na niya, nag-resign na siya. No? So, yun yung mga, at yung Senado, hindi na tinuloy kasi nag-resign na siya. So, those are the possibilities. Pero yung mag-i-insist, no, if she will take a position that she will not participate, it will not stop the impeachment court from proceeding. Magtutuloy-tuloy po yun at maglalabas na desisyon base lamang sa ebidensyang meron sila.
Okay. Maraming salamat for everything that you talked us through tonight. And of course, for sharing your time and your knowledge with us, Attorney Enrique Buko de la Cruz, Senior Partner of Divina Law. Thank you so much for your time.